Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivharadhari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivharadhari Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivharadhari Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe Jayo Shri Gopal Jayo Shri Gopal Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, entitled, Chapter 5, entitled, The Cause of All Causes, verse number 35. Saeva Purushastasmad Andam Nirvidya Nirgataha Sahasrauru Angri Bahu Aksha Sahasranana Sirsavan Saeva Purushastasman Andam Nirvidya Nirgataha Sahasrauru Angri Bahu Aksha Sahasranana Sirsavan Saeva Purushastasman Andam Nirvidya Nirgata Sahasrauru Angri Bahu Aksha Sahasranana Sirsavan Andam Nirvidya Nirgata Sahasranana Sirsavan Saeva Purushastasmad Andam Nirvidya Nirgataha Sahasrauru Angri Bahu Aksha Sahasranana Sirsavan Saeva Purushastasmad Andam Nirvidya Nirgata Sahasrauru Angri Bahu Aksha Sahasranana Sirsavan Mataji Saeva Purushastasman Andam Nirvidya Nirgata Sahasrauru Angribahu Aksha Sahasranana Sirshavat. What word meaning? Shaha, he, the Lord. Eva, himself. Purusha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tasmat, from within the universe. Andam, Hiranyagarbha. Nirvidya, dividing. Nirgataha, came out. Sahasra, thousands. Uru, thighs. Angri, legs. Bahu, arms. Aksha, eyes. Sahasra, thousands of. Anana, mouths. Sirsavan, with heads also. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The Lord Mahavishnu, although lying in the causal ocean, came out of it, and dividing himself as Hiranyagarbha, he entered into each universe and assumed the Virata Rupa, with thousands of legs, arms, mouths, heads, etc. Purport. The expansion of the planetary systems within each and every universe are situated in the different parts of the Virata Rupa, universal form of the Lord, and they are described as follows. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Shavadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langhayate girim yat kripa tamah vande Shri Guru dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of all the devotees so that I can speak something meaningful for the pleasure of the Lord and for the pleasure of the devotees and for my purification. Once Srila Prabhupada was at Europe. One devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, which service you like the most? Sometimes you speak about book distribution, sometimes you do DT worship, sometimes you write books. So many services you do. Which service you like the most? Prabhupada told, all the services are transcendental. But I like to translate Bhagavatam. The purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam are the devotional ecstasies of Srila Prabhupada. Once upon a time, one devotee asked to Srila Prabhupada, how much time we should give for one verse in Srimad Bhagavatam? Prabhupada remembered his guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He gave one class, he gave lecture on to Bhagavatam, first canto, first verse, for 30 days. So Prabhupada told, you should give at least 30 days for one verse. So Hansadut Prabhu was there, and he calculated it takes near about 1500 years to complete Srimad Bhagavatam. Because that's why Prabhupada told that this is Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll discuss something about this Srimad Bhagavatam. So you see here, in the end of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, Parikshit Maharaj asked some questions to Shukadeva Goswami. So to answer all those questions, Shukadeva Goswami, in the second canto, in his first chapter, he covered his answers, what one should do and what not should do. After the completion of those questions, Parikshit Maharaj again asked to Shukadeva Goswami, I want to hear about the creation, maintenance and destruction pastimes of the Lord. But Shukadeva Goswami was so much absorbed to answer the questions of Parikshit Maharaj, he forgot to do Mangalacharan in the second canto. But when the questions are asked second time, so Shukadeva Goswami offered prayers to the Lord. He did Mangalacharan. Then he quotes that the same question was asked by Narada Muni to Lord Brahma. Brahma Narada Sambad. So I will quote that Sambad and I will answer your questions. So we see Bhagavatam is manifested in many times in the canto, first and second canto. When there is a discussion between Sutta Goswami and Shaunakadi Rishis at Naimisaran, there was manifestation of Srimad Bhagavatam. When Vyasadeva was bewildered, confused, Narada Muni comes, and then there was discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam. We also see that Parikshit Maharaj asked some questions, and to answer the questions of Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami speaks about Bhagavatam. And also we see here, in second canto, there is Chatushloki Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is manifested many times in the first and second cantos. So here the questions are asked to Parikshit Maharaj is asking all these questions to Shukadeva Goswami. So thing is that what kind of question we should ask? When the question is stupid, the answer will be also stupid. For example, once upon a time, Akbar asked to Birbal, how many crores are there at Agra? So Birbal told 6 lakhs. Then Akbar asked, how can you say that? How are you confident? If there will be less crores, what will happen? You know, I will punish you. Then Birbal is telling that, see, sometimes you go out for visiting, tours, for picnic, to meet your relatives. Similarly, some crows might have gone outside. So that's why there will be less crows. Then if the numbers will be more than what? Now some of their relatives will have come to the city. That's why number is increased. So here that means when question is stupid, the answer will be also stupid. But when question is perfect, answer will be also perfect. Like Srila Prabhupada's one book, small book there, perfect questions, perfect answers. So once upon a time, Janak Maharaj was sleeping, like Mithila, and he saw a dream. In that dream, he has lost his kingdom and he has become a beggar. And he is asking for some food. And he was bewildered. Oh, how can I become a beggar? That immediately he awakened from the bed and he's confused. Who am I? I'm a king or a beggar? So he asked, next day morning, he asked this question to all of his scholars, pandits. Who am I? Am I a beggar or a king? So all the scholars, they are confused. If we'll say that he's a beggar, he will punish us. We'll say that he's king, then how can he had that dream? So nobody answered anything. So in that assembly, Ashtavakra Muni's father was there. She was also there. So Janak Maharaj punished them that all of you cannot leave this place until unless you give my answer. So Nazarbandi में डाल दिया उनको. Then Ashtavakra Muni's mother told him to her son that, see, your father is also in the jail. You should go and answer the questions of the king. So because Ashtavakra Muni, why he got that name? While he was in his mother's home, he used to correct his father. His father was a big Vedantist. If something goes wrong while chanting the mantras, he will correct from the womb. So his father asked, who is this person correcting me? His wife is telling that, from my home, this sound is coming. I think the son who is correcting you. Then in that time, his father cursed him that you are asking Teda questions, you will become Teda. So that's why he born as Ashtavakra, 8 bends in his body, deformations. So Ashtavakra Muni was sent by his mother. So Ashtavakra Muni, when he entered inside this assembly, all the people started laughing, seeing his form. So Ashtavakra Muni also started laughing. The Janak Maharaj was confused. Why all of you are laughing? So Ashtavakra Muni told that because I was thinking all these people are very scholarly, all are Gyanis. But I understood that they are Chamaras. They do not know anything. No. Then the king asked, how can you say like this? Because you know why all these people laughed on me? By seeing my external feature. But they are unable to see my inner contents. That's why I laughed. So King Janak Maharaj accepted him as his spiritual master. And he asked, now you tell me, who am I? Am I a beggar or am I king? So in that condition, the Ashtavakra Muni told that you are Indian, nor Nepali, nor a beggar, nor a king. You are a soul. You are the servant of Lord Krishna. So when the question is perfect, answer is perfect. When the question is imperfect, answer will be imperfect. So Narada Muni asked to Brahma, I want to know the purpose and process of creation. To answer that question, Brahmaji tells about the purpose of creation. So what is the purpose of this creation? The creation is created for the reformation of the living entities, jivas, who has turned away its face from the Lord. So this material world is compared with the hospital. When we admitted in the hospital, we go through so much pain. And doctor, who is the doctor here? Krishna is the doctor. So doctor gives us some treatment so that we will be cured, you will be purified, and we will go to the spiritual world. So that's why this material world is created, so that we can match our desires with the desire of the Krishna. When we match our desires with the desire of the Krishna, then this material world can also become a Vaikuntha. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Tomara ichhaye amar ichha misailo bhakati binodo aja apane bhulila. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling that because I have matched my desires with your desire, now I can forget all these impediments in my life. So that's why this material world is created. So why to hear about the creation Leela of the Lord? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur tells that this is Karuna Leela of the Lord. Because Lord is so compassionate that He creates this world and He comes as in so many forms. Sometimes He comes as Bhagavatam, sometimes He comes as the different incarnations, devotees, and He follows us so that one day we will be purified and go back to the spiritual world. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling that this creation Leela is Karuna Leela. So how can you understand this creation Leela? Like Venkat Bhatt was asked by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Venkat Bhatt is telling that Ami jiva khyudra buddhi sahaje asthira Ishwarera lila koti samudra gambhira. Ami jiva, I am small jiva. Khyudra buddhi, my intelligence is very meager, very small. And sahaja asthira, I am always disturbed, my mind is flickering. Or Ishwarera lila koti sahaja gambhira. But the pastimes of the lila is very, very deep, like thousands of millions of oceans. How can I understand these pastimes? That's why Bhagavan Acharya tells that to Sarva Bhattacharya. Ishwarera krupa lesa achaye jahare seita Ishwara tattva bujhivare pare. Who has got a little bit of mercy of the Lord, he can understand these pastimes of the Lord. Now what is the hope? Continuously read and hear and pray to the Lord. That's why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is telling that why the people will not be able to understand this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jeva nahi bujhe ke ho sunite sunite se ho ki adbhuta Chaitanya Charita Krishna upujive priti janive rasera riti sunilei vadahaya hita. Jevanai bujhe ke sunite sunite se. If somebody is unable to understand, he has to hear this pastimes again and again. Sunite sunite se. Ki adbhuta Chaitanya Krishna upujive priti. When we hear these pastimes again and again, then our love towards the Lord will develop. Krishna upujive priti. Janive rasarati. Then we will be able to understand the Krishna tattva. Sunilei vadahita hoy. Hearing the pastimes of the Lord, will be highly benefited by hearing the pastimes of the Lord. That's why we should hear these pastimes. So there is one nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto. So why we should hear this external pastimes of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord which is connected to the external energy. So this verse is like this: Mayam bannayat amushya ishwarasya numodataha shrumata shadhaya nityam maya atmanamuyati. Translation provides, the Lord's activities in association with His different energies should be described, appreciated and heard in accordance with the teachings of the Supreme Lord. If this is done regularly with devotion and respect, one is sure to get out of the illusory energy of the Lord. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes, fools may consider the Lord's activities in relation with the external energy to be useless for them, and they may falsely claim to be higher participants in the internal energy of the Lord. But factually, the Lord's activities in relation with the external energy and the internal energy are equally good. So there is no difference between hearing the pastimes of the Lord which are connected to the external energy, like this creation pastimes, and the pastimes of the Lord which are connected to the internal pastimes, like Govardhan Leela, Ras Leela and Lord's intimate pastimes. There is no difference. So Prabhupada writes, on the other hand, those who are not completely free from the clutches of the Lord's external energy, he's speaking about the neophyte devotees, should devotedly hear regularly about the activities of the Lord in relation with the external energy. They should not foolishly jump up to the activities of the internal energy, falsely attracted by the Lord's internal potential activities like his Ras Leela. Some of them think that to hear about the pastimes of the Lord means to hear about his activities with the gopis or about his pastimes like lifting the Govardhana hill. And they have nothing to do with the Lord's plenary expansions at the Purusha avatars and their pastimes of the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the material worlds. But a pure devotee knows that there is no difference between the pastimes of the Lord, either in Rasalila or in creation, maintenance or destruction of the material world. Rather, the restrictions of such activities of the Lord as the Purusha avatars are specifically meant for persons who are in the clutches of the external energy. Topics like the Ras Lila are meant for the liberated souls and not for the conditioned souls. The conditioned souls, therefore, must hear with appreciation and devotion the Lord's pastimes in relation with the external energy, and such acts are as good as hearing of Ras Lila in the liberated stage. So everything Prabhupada has mentioned in this purport so nicely, there is no need to describe anything here. So here the chapter's name is Cause of All Causes. So there is one nice prayer quoted by Gajendra. Namo namaste akhila karanaya niskaranaya adbhuta karanaya sarvagamnaya mahanavaya namo apavargaya parayanaya. So here Namo namaste akhila karanaya. The Lord is the cause of all causes. Akhila karanaya. Niskaranaya, who has no other cause. And adbhuta karanaya. He is the wonderful cause of everything. So here in the purport, Prabhupada writes, the Supreme Personality of God is described herein as the wonderful cause. He is wonderful cause in the sense that although there may be unlimited emanations from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Janmadyasyatah, he always remains complete. Purnasya punnamadaya punnameva avashishyate. In our experience in the material world, if we have a bank balance of $1 billion, as we withdraw money from the bank, the balance gradually diminishes until it becomes nil. However, the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, is so complete that although innumerable personalities of Godhead expand from him, he remains the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. Punnasya punnamadaya punnameva avashishyate. Therefore, he is the wonderful cause. So here, that wonderful cause. How? The Lord is the cause of everything, and he has no other cause, and he is the wonderful cause of everything is mentioned. The similar question is asked by Vidurji to Maitreya Muni in third canto about the creation. Karoti karmani krutavatara yani atmatantra bhagavanstrayadhisa yatha sajagra idam niriha sanstapya vrittim jagato vidhatte. So, karoti karmani krutavatara. The Lord is doing so many activities here. But these activities are different from our activities. When we do something, those activities are for our personal benefit. But here Lord is doing some activities. These activities are called transcendental activities. Krutavatar, how? Now, through many incarnations like Purusha avatars. Yani Atma Tantra is independent Lord. He is not dependent on anyone. That's why Gaur Goswami Maharaj says that Krishna is Ichamaya Purusha. Nobody can put anchor in his ichha, desires. Whatever he wants, he will do. Like he wanted to give Subhadra to Arjuna, but Balram was not interested. Balramji wanted to give Subhadra to Duryodhana. But although he was very fast expansion of the Lord, Balram was not able to interfere in his desire. That's why Atma Tantra, he is independent Lord. And Bhagavan Trayadhisa, he is the Lord of three universes. Jatha Sasajagra Idam Nirya. Although he has no material desires, still he creates all these material worlds. For what? Now, for the benefit of the people. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, from whom the three creative incarnations, namely the Purusha avatars, Karanavasai Vishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and Kshirodakasai Vishnu expand. The whole material creation is conducted by the three Purushas in successive stages under the external energy of the Lord. And thus, material nature is controlled by Him. The Lord is independent and desireless. He does not create the material world for His own satisfaction. So once upon a time, one devotee asked to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, why this material world is created? Like people say that, Dunya banane wale kya tere mane mein samay, kai ko dunya banai. So like that one devotee asked, Prabhupada knew that he has so many material desires in his heart because he was very new. Prabhupada told that, not for your enjoyment. This material world is created not for your enjoyment, but for the enjoyment of the Lord. He does not create the material world for him, for his own satisfaction, as you create our household affairs to fulfill our material desires. Actually, the material world is created for the illusory enjoyment of the conditioned souls who have been against the transcendental service of the Lord since time immemorial. So, in this verse, today's verse, Shukadeva Goswami is speaking, Brahmaji is speaking about the Lord, how he is planning to do the maintenance of the universe. So today we'll discuss something about the maintenance. And how Krishna is the only maintainer. Okay. So normally we like to create many things. It's very nice to see new things. But before creation, we never think how we'll maintain that. Whether the maintenance are easy or not, we should think before we create anything. Whether the parts are easily available or not, we should think. Maintenance is not so easy. Like sometimes, एक ओडिया बोलते हैं, घोड़ा 6 टंका, दाना 9 टंका. So once upon a time, one person goes to the market and he gets a horse at a very low price. He paid only 6 rupees and purchased that horse. After coming to his home, he came to know that this horse is eating at least 9 rupees per day. That's why the cost of the horse is 6 rupees and he is eating 9 rupees per day. How is it easy to maintain that horse? So that's why he is in anxiety. So that's why before purchasing anything, before doing any creation, we should think about whether it is easy to maintain or not. So Lord is not like that. It's not like that. I have created this universe and it is out of my control. Sometimes we create many things and after creation we understand that it's out of my control. I cannot do the maintenance. Like Trishanku. Trishanku approached Vishwamitra Muni. I want to go to the Indraloka, heavenly planet, but Indra is not allowing me. Please help me. So Vishwamitra created another universe for him. He created that universe. He sent Trishanku there, but he wasted all of his energies to maintain that universe. But at last he became helpless and he prayed to the Lord. Lord, I am unable to maintain this universe. Please help me. The Lord comes and he started maintaining that universe. So that's why before creating anything, we should think whether I will be able to maintain that or not. So I'll give you one example. normally we try to be updated with the technology. But the technology now, it takes our energy, it increases our anxieties, and it takes our control also. I'll give you the example. You know the dishwashing machine or my temple, uh, there is water level controller that is not working. So I requested the technician, can you go for the new? I got the budget 70,000, 70,000. What is the need? We can do the maintenance. Because if we have that part now, there is no need to manually fill the water. It hardly takes 2 minutes to fill up the water. What is the need to waste 70,000? And he told me that, sir, you can do the jugaad, all these adjustments in this machine. But the machineries which now, whatever machinery are available now, it's out of control. You cannot do anything. Once you purchase that machine, means you are under the control of that company. For example, I'll tell you, few months before, that starting switch, the knob of that dishwashing machine was broken. And when we tried to get that switch, simple switch, they gave me a budget of 9,000. And I asked to the technician, what should I do? Go to the market, you will get a switch. I got that switch at 150 rupees, 150 rupees. And if you will go for the company, it will take 15 days to get that part. And with that, we have to waste so much money. And we adjusted, the machine is okay. He told me that, the technician told me that, sir, as long as this machine is working, do not change anything. Do not go for new machine, because the new machine which is available, it is totally out of control. It is you will be under the control of the company. If something goes wrong, you cannot do anything. You cannot do any adjustment. So like that. So technology means you are under the control of that technology. Sometimes you try to be fully automatic. Fully automatic means, now I'll give you the example. Now you will get some washing machines. Those machines are fully automatic. But sometimes it happens that if something goes wrong with the PCB, the machine is locked. Your clothes will be there, and the machine is locked. You cannot remove your clothes unless the technician comes. You have to wait for the technician, 1 day, 2 days, something like that, to remove your clothes. That's it. That's why this technology works in this world. But Krishna is in control. Whatever maintenance he does, it is easy for him. He can do the maintenance of everything. For him, it's very simple thing. And his energies are working for that. So we'll discuss now how Krishna is the only maintainer. We'll discuss one story from Mahabharata. So when the Mahabharata war was declared, so both the parties, Pandavas and Kauravas, all of them, they are assembled at Kurukshetra, the place called Dharmakhetra, where the Dharma is always victorious. So there was a need to check the place, to clean that area for the war. So while cleaning that war place, one of the elephants, that elephant broke many trees. In one tree, there was a sparrow, and she had 2 eggs in that nest. And both the whole tree was broken, and that nest and eggs were lying down on the floor. The mother sparrow was in a helpless condition. And she sees that so many animals are there, so many warriors are there, so many horses are there, so many chariots are there. What is going to happen to my eggs? She was also very, very restless, because people think that we only love our children. No, it's not like that. Even animals, even birds, they love their children so much so that I'll give you an example. In our base at Dombivli, in the outside, in the courtyard, I was near about 5-7 days that base was locked. And when I went to that base and opened the courtyard, I found one sparrow was chastising me. I was not able to understand what is happening, why she is behaving like this. And after 1 hour, I came to know that she had given 2 eggs inside that the cartoon. Because she had so much love for those eggs that she was chastising me. So like that, this sparrow was in a helpless condition. What will happen to my children who are there inside the eggs? She was in a less restless condition. And in the night, he came to know that everything is silent. But he could see that all the animals are there, elephants are there, warriors are there, horses are there. So what should I do? Okay. Next day, again in the morning, the war started. So in that condition, he saw one person is speaking something to another person. And she was able to understand that she is my Lord. How rare is that? Being in the bird's body, she was able to understand the Lord. How it is possible? Because she has rendered so much devotional service in her past life. So whatever devotional service we perform in our past life, that is never lost. That is accumulated in our account permanently. Like Gajendra. Who was Gajendra in his past life? When he was attacked by this crocodile, and that Gajendra was trying to his best to protect himself, but he was also helpless. So in that condition, he prayed to the Lord. How? Now, because of his past devotional service. Jajapa paramam japyam prag janmani anusikhitam. He offered that prayer to the Lord. Prag janmani anusikhitam. What he had learned from his past life. That's why Prabhupada writes in that purport. It is very, very important for the devotees to remember and recite some prayers always, so that whenever there is an emergency, you can recite that mantras. So here Gajendra is reciting that mantras. So when Lord comes, so he offered that prayers. So antasara siruvalena gruhita atma drushva garutmatim harim kamutapa chakram utkipta sambujakaram giramaha krucham narayana akhila guru bhagavan namaste narayana akhila guru bhagavan namaste narayana akhila guru bhagavan namaste. He offered that prayer, Gajendra. Why it happened? No, because he had rendered so much devotional service in his past life. So here that bird was also performed rendered some devotional service in his past life. Because of some offense, he got that bird's body. And he was able to understand Lord Krishna. Now that mother bird, she is approaching Lord Krishna and she is praying, please help me. I am in a dangerous condition. I have lost my eggs. And these eggs are lying on the floor. At any moment of time, I can lose my children. Please help me. So she is offering the prayers like Krishna, 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 Pahima. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshama. She's praying that prayer. Please protect me. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Nija bala chestha prati bharasa chadiya tomara acharane achi bharasa kariya. So she is praying, offering that prayer. I have tried to my best to protect my eggs. Nija bala chestha prati bharasa chadiya. But I am helpless. Tomara charane achi bharasa kariya. Now I am dependent on you. Please protect my eggs. Tumi to rakshakara palaka amara tomara charana bina asa nahi ara. Tumi to rakshakara palaka amara. You are my only protector and you are my only maintainer. If you will not protect me, then nobody can help me. Please help me. So that bird is praying and offering these prayers to the Lord. So now Lord is also giving Bhagavad Gita, instruction Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna during that time. But Lord gives a side glance to that bird. And the bird lives. So now Lord is telling to Arjuna, please give me your arrow and bow. And Arjuna is telling, how? You have promised that you will not lift any bow and arrow. Bow and arrows, how can you ask? And Lord is telling, no, you give me. So Lord takes the bow and arrows from Arjuna and shoots an arrow to an elephant who is having a big chain, golden chain with a big bell. So Lord shoots the arrow not to the elephant but to the bell of the elephant. So the bell was removed and the bell fell on the eggs and covered the eggs. So and seeing that, the bird was very happy. Mother bird was very happy. Okay, something going to happen. There was a big war, and during that time, bird is also thinking how to fructify those eggs. So one devotee was telling the big war between the Kshatriyas, because of so much blood flew, and because of the heat from the blood, these eggs fructify, and the eggs started, the small kids, they started chuckling. Small sound was coming from the bell. So Krishna could observe this, and during that time, one elephant again came because of he tossed his leg to that bell, and the bell was lifted little bit, and through that the birds, small birds, baby birds, they used to get the air, and mother bird also can feed them. And after the completion of the war, Krishna told to Arjuna, you know what happened? So Krishna, if Krishna can give protection to a bird, why not us? Thing is that whether we are surrendered, whether we are praying to the Lord, asking for His protection, as long as we think that I do not need anybody's help, I am independent, I can do everything, the Lord does not give His glance. When we give up everything and take shelter of Krishna, then Lord gives His glance. That is our wealth, that glance, that faith. So devotional service is nothing but to develop our faith towards the Lord day by day, little bit. And that faith will become our wealth. So this technology, the purpose of this technology is to destroy our faith towards the Lord. So as long as we use this technology, as we try to be updated with this technology, our faith towards the Lord will decrease. As long as we try to be simple and try to be adjust with the situation, then what will happen? Krishna will shower His blessings and will be updated. We'll go to the spiritual world very soon. Hare Krishna. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we discuss about the what question we should ask, what question we should not ask, and the purpose of creation, and we discussed the few purports of Srila Prabhupada, where Prabhupada elaborately discussed how it is very, very important to hear the creation pastimes of the Lord, which are connected to the external energy of the Lord, and there is no difference between the pastimes connected to the external energy of the Lord and internal energy of the Lord. And we also discussed before creation we should think how to maintain that, and we also discussed how Krishna is the only maintainer. Hare Krishna.